So yeah, I started looking. Like this time period has led me to really ask myself a lot of questions and just really, take a look at self, introspect, and just really observe the individual, me. And back then, a while back, me and my friend, we were doing research and we were trying to figure out who are the leaders, who are the top, who's running key organizations, Apple, Google, this one, that one, McDonald's, NBC, the list goes on. So what we found was disturbing. Now I'm going to do this research right here while we're on tape here. Like while I'm recording, I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to go through the research, but ultimately, the same groups own the majority of everything. Literally, it's not even an exaggeration. So I'm just going to go through like 5 key players and we're going to see. So this is just brief. This is not even a full rundown of everything. But let's take a look. Apple's major shareholders are primarily large institutional investors. The Vanguard Group holds 1.4 billion shares, approximately 9.4 to 9.7% of outstanding shares. BlackRock Inc., 1.1 billion shares, approximately 5.9 to 7.9 of outstanding shares. Then you have State Street Corporation, 5%, 604 milli. Geode Capital Management, 358 milli. FMR LLC, 307. Okay. And there's some more down here. Berkshire Hathaway. You have Arthur Levinson, and you have Tim Cook. He's the Apple CEO. So he's all the way at the bottom of the list. So obviously, once again, we're seeing that the CEOs mean nothing. They're not at the top of anything. So now let's just look at something else. Let's take a look at this is Apple. Let's look at Android. Wait, what would Android be? Isn't that Google? Yes, Google. So let's look at Google. So here you have Alphabet Inc., Google. Major shareholders are dominated by institutional investors. Vanguard Group. 7, what? So let's just go. Top institutional shareholders, approximate. Vanguard Group, Inc., 7.25% to 7.74%. BlackRock, Inc., 6.27%. State Street Corp, 3.30. Come on. So the same, so literally, once I saw this, I said, wait a minute. So you have people arguing online and in regular life. Oh, I don't mess with them because they got iPhones. Oh, I don't mess with them because y'all got Android. What? Do we not understand that they are owned by the same individuals? Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, FMR, Geode Capital. So it's the same 5 groups that own Google and Apple. Really? So this is so these corporations, these quote unquote wealthy individuals, they have people choosing sides. This is literally divide and conquer. You have the majority of the money on the planet. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up shop and you're going to create products that rival each other. Meanwhile, you're controlling both sides. Apple, Google. You're controlling both sides, and you have the quote unquote common people picking and choosing what do they want to, what gels with them, what works for them, what's the choice that they want to go with, what do they like better. Meanwhile, you're just reaping all the benefits. Look at it. It's the same 5 groups. They own Apple and Google. How is that possible? How could we have overlooked this? Okay, so let's keep going. Now let's look at Amazon. Everybody, let's look at Amazon, kids. Do it. Okay, whatever, bro. It's fucking technology, bro. Okay. Let's look at, okay, Jeff Bezos is the largest individual shareholder, holding approximately 8.2% to 10.8. Okay, he's the founder and the executive chair, holding the largest stake, often exceeding 880 million shares. Then you have Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon, holding over 2 million shares. And you have Douglas Harrington, the CEO of worldwide Amazon stores. Now, the top institutional shareholders are who? Vanguard, 7.8% to 7.9, BlackRock Inc., approximately 5.1 to 6.8, State Street Corp., approximately 3.6, FMR LLC Fidelity 3%, and Geode Capital Management LLC 2%. Once again, the same 5 entities are once again involved in the major shareholdings of 3 of the top entities on the planet: Amazon, Google, Apple. Let me do 2 more. Let's just do 2 more. What else? What's another? Disney. Let's look at Disney. These are the top institutional shareholders as of late 2025 to early 2026. Vanguard Group, 159 million shares. BlackRock Inc., 132 million shares. State Street Corp. JP Morgan is in there. JP Morgan Chase, 76 million. State Street is in there with 83 million. Geode Capital. Once again, 4 of those same one. What was that other one? The FMR. FMR is not on this list. So FMR is the only one that's not here from the previous entities that we just looked up. JP Morgan and JP Morgan Chase and Company is here with 76 million shares. But the other 4, Geode, State Street, BlackRock, and Vanguard Group Inc., are on this list. Right there. This is what is referred to as the New World Order, where you have a small group of people who intend to own everything and control all things. So if we're saying, anyone who's still saying that the New World Order is coming, it's on the way, and you're speaking as if it's not here, no, this is it. You're in it right now. There's only a small group of people who are owning everything and are controlling all things. So now let's look. Okay, so that's Disney, Apple, Google, and Amazon. So now for number 5, let's just do something totally outside of the box, and let's look at something like food. What's one of the top food companies? We already know McDonald's. Let's look at McDonald's. Top food. There it is. McDonald's largest shareholders. At the top of the list, Vanguard Group with 10.18%. BlackRock Inc., 5.8%. State Street is in there. JP Morgan, once again. And of course, Geode, right on the list. The top 5. There it is. So it's the same people. We were unaware. I had no clue that it was this. All of the things I had heard about as a kid: New World Order, End of Days, totalitarian, Hegelian principles, all of these different terms that I was hearing as a teenager. I didn't know that it was like literally right here before me. It was literally here, and it's happening now. I wasn't aware of its prominence at this time. And once it became very clear that there was a small group of people who were pretty much, taking over everything in terms of finance and economics and religion and even medical aspects. If we keep doing that research, I've looked at the CDC. The CDC was connected with one of those groups, 1 or 2 of those groups. This is very important to know. It's extremely important to know this type of information. So yes, now with all of the recent information that we've received about certain government officials, military men, military peoples, entertainment people, CEOs of music labels, of Hollywood film companies, etc., all of those individuals being revealed in the Epstein files and any other information that's been released outside of the Epstein documents, which pretty much covered a lot. It covered a vast majority of top individuals in society and around the world. With all of that being revealed, it's a no-brainer that we here, as the quote-unquote common people, we have done ourselves a grand disservice. And what I mean by that is that we have become entirely, almost 100%, if we're not completely children, we're 98% on the way to being fully kids, children who know nothing. What is a child? A child is one who depends on their parents for survival, for well-being, for all things. A child depends completely on their guardians. And let's run down the list. I had to look at myself and say, what do I know how to do for myself? What are the basics that every individual needs? We know it. Food, clothes, and shelter. In terms of food, you have physical flesh that you consume, and you have water. So let's look at water. Right now, I do not possess the complete ability to go out and take water from any source and make it drinkable. Now I have learned some information on cleaning your water using charcoal, using rocks, using filter methods. But most of us do not understand the science of filtering it and cleaning water. Which that is the base. Like, that's one of the most basic things that you need to live, to keep your body intact and moving on. In order to keep your brain thriving, water, the basics. Most humans do not know how to get water from any source and clean it and make it drinkable. Number one. Number two, of food, which is the flesh aspect. Most of us are getting our foods from grocery stores or fast food or other restaurants. So you're getting it from something else. You're getting it from an external source. Okay? So let's say all of those external sources close down tomorrow. If there's no grocery stores, if all restaurants, all fast food, all grocery stores are closed, all farmers markets, all of that, how are you going to eat? That was the question I had to ask myself. How am I going to eat if all external sources are done? That's when I started to go out and to look into nature, and I had to do actual research to see what are forms of plant life that I can eat raw, straight from the earth, without having to cook, without needing a stove, without needing anything. So yes, right there alone, most of us, we have no clue how to grow our own crops. We don't know how to spot food out in the open in nature. We just look at it as nothing. We just see it. Oh, that's just nature. That's just grass. That's just plants. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's literally how we see nature, which that is the origin of all foods that we have. All foods that are shown before us are coming from some form of nature, some aspect of nature, whether it's an animal, which before we had to go and kill those animals to eat them. Now you don't have to kill it. Now you just go to the restaurant and go get a bite. And then the other aspect would be the vegetation, that's your agriculture. You have to grow that. How many of us know how to grow our own crops? Now, this information is coming out now in an abundance. There's a lot of content creators literally showing you how to grow crops, how to start your own garden, which is beautiful. Self-reliance is coming into fruition, which is beautiful. It's coming into manifestation, self-reliance, which is what these quote-unquote wealthy individuals do not want. They do not want self-reliance to consume the people. Because if that occurs, then they have no power. And that is the truth. They have no power if we become self-reliant. Because then we wouldn't need them anymore for any of the shit that we're doing, for any aspects of well-being and survival. We wouldn't need them. So that's food. Then you have shelter. So shelter, first of all, most of us, our houses are coming equipped with refrigerators, which that allows you to preserve your food. Most of us do not know how to preserve food without a refrigerator, without a freezer or a deep freezer. And that is facts. That's the truth. The houses are also coming equipped with stoves, ovens. Those things allow you to provide heat and cook your food. How many of us know how to start a fire out in the wilderness in order to cook our food? I'll leave that question in the open air. Last but not least, the entire structure of your home itself. Most human beings who are living in a home did not build that home, nor do they know how to build a shelter for themselves. And that's facts. So that means that someone else built this house for you and you moved in and started living in it. Facts. So that's already 2 down. You don't know how to grow your own food, provide food for yourself, which is what a child does not know this. We're looking at the analogy of a child. Children cannot provide food for themselves. They don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to go out and look at what's like, study nature and know what's toxic, know what can be eaten and what cannot. A child cannot build a home for themselves. A child has to be taught these things. So here we are. We have not learned it. We do not know how to build homes. We do not know how to provide shelter for ourselves, nor do we know how to achieve food and cultivate food for ourselves. And last but not least, clothing. I mean, that one is easy. Who knows? I mean, there's people who crochet, there's people who knit and sew, but come on, how many of us are doing that? So we don't even know how to make clothes for ourselves. The most that humans can do at this point is go grab some leaves and some bushes and wrap it around on some Adam and Eve type ish. That's all we can do. And I mean, that's pretty much, I mean, it's a joke at this point. We are a joke. We're children. We don't know how to do anything. We're kids. We're children. So with that being said, food, clothing, and shelter, the basic aspects of survival, we lack it completely. We don't have it. Only a few of us are actually studying this and actually care about this. So this was what I had to come to and actually realize for myself. For us to be, disgusted and appalled about all of this recent information coming out about the government and the different, quote unquote rulers of the world and shit like that. It's ultimately a joke, because the only reason that this society is actually intact and running on a daily is because people get up every day and go to Amazon and work for Amazon. People get up every day and go purchase an iPhone, which feeds the Apple Corp, which ultimately feeds and gives energy to BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. We get up and we go and we get on Google and we use their platform, which feeds that Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, FMR. We purchase subscriptions for Netflix, for Disney, which feeds JP Morgan, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street. And the list goes on. We go and work at McDonald's. We go and work at Taco Bell, Burger King. This is what we're doing. So literally the only reason that these sick people are actually wealthy is because of us. The only reason that they're in quote unquote power and immune to the shit that's that has been revealed about them is because we allow it. Literally. We chose not to know how to grow our own food and actually produce agriculture for ourselves and work with the land and know how to grow crops. We chose not to do that. I lived my entire life up to this point. I just started doing this research to know how to feed myself without anyone. So that means that I'm 33 years old. So that means for 33 years, I chose to not know how to do this. That's what that means. That's the truth. That's facts. So we chose not to know how to build our own homes. Like, that's crazy. We did this. We purchased the albums of these entertainers. We purchased the music and watched the videos and give energy to the content and the media that Hollywood producers are putting out on their platforms and on their TV channels for years. We did this. So it's all of this is our fault. The people. It's our fault. We did it. All of this is possible because we participate and we adhere to the rules, false to the laws that these sick government people make. The CIA has already admitted that they were the ones who funneled crack cocaine into the ghettos. They admitted it. Yet no one is in an outrage for this. We still follow their laws. We still adhere to their policies. We are the people. We literally hold the power to shut down all of this. If everyone stops immediately and just says, I'm not going to work, I'm not using your platform, I'm not purchasing this, I'm not paying for this, I'm not doing nothing, it would all end. Literally. Literally. No question. Because that's the only way that the system goes on. That's crazy. It's so obvious, but it's like, what are we doing? How do we not see that it's our fault? And then we point blame. Like a friend of mine a couple weeks ago, he's like, yo, these niggas are sick, bro. Yo, they raping kids, they doing this. And I'm like, well, you need to go harder with your spiritual practice. You need to focus on self. Don't worry about what's going on in the world. It's always something sick going on out there. He's like, what? So you don't care that the kids is getting raped? I'm like, what do you mean? What can you do about it? What are you going to do? Are you going to go and stop them? What? You're one individual. So unity amongst the people, that's how we stop this. And self-reliance. Ultimate self-reliance. This is how we stop this madness. This is madness. We are paying for water. Think about that. Water. We're paying for food, bro. I've never seen a bird buy food. I've never seen a dog go and purchase food. I've never seen a snake go to the store and go pay for his food. That's absurd. Food is free. 100%. Water is free. So flesh, so that's already two of the elements. The physical food that we eat, which is flesh, that is earth material. Water is liquid, which is another one of the four elements. What else? What else are we paying for? Out of the four elements, how many of those are we actually paying for? Fire. That's one of the other four elements. We pay for heat. We literally pay for heat in our homes. But we don't know how to build a structure and mechanisms that actually generate heat for us within our own homes. We don't know how to do that. So now we're paying for the fire element, the heat. What else? We're also paying for what? Air. How do we pay for air? We pay for air by way of AC, air conditioning. That is crazy, bro. We're paying for the 4 elements, which was given to us for free. That's crazy. This is insane. This is actual madness. And that is why from this point on, each day that I live is a day that's striving towards self-reliance. Because nothing else matters. Self-mastery, self-understanding, self-reliance, that is the key. Because anything else is slavery. This is pure slavery. I pay a water bill. What the fuck? This is where we're at. This is where we're at in 2026. We're paying for food. We're paying for earth, water, air, and fire. Someone has monopolized the 4 elements. There's a monopoly on the 4 elements. Crazy. I don't know if it's possible, but I feel like they're going to find a way to do it. But the 5th element, which is ether, according to certain disciplines, there's 5 elements. Ether being the first element that actually gives birth to the 4: earth, water, fire, and air. Ether, which is space, like the space-time continuum. That's ether, also known as dark matter. I don't know if they can monopolize that, but they'll try. But none of us even care about that element, which is it's superior to all of them, and none of us care. Nobody's trying to figure out how to commune with the ether element. Darkness is key. Darkness is the key to everything. It is the source of us all. This is a crazy time that we're in, but it's also a beautiful time because there's a lot. This is the age of Aquarius. This is the Aquarian age. So we have the ability to actually master the self with the greatest of ease. This is a beautiful time to be in because this information is so easy to come by. But it's a double-edged sword because that which is extremely easy to achieve is very easy to overlook. This is a joke. This place is a joke, and we're literally paying for the 4 elements. Like, I can't even believe it. Oh my God. This is wild. I'm completely disgusted. So if you're disgusted at any of this information that has come out about the quote-unquote elites of the world and what they're doing, they're eating kids, they're raping children, they're drinking the blood of human beings and children, and of course indigenous people across the planet because they hold the most potent blood. I mean, the list goes on. They're blackmailing people in government. Now they've got them on their payroll. The list goes on. The military is under their control. Police force is under their control. The police force is literally preceded by the KKK. So that's absurd within itself. I mean, the list goes on. If any of this information disgusts you, then you have to ask yourself a vital question. How did it happen? And how did I contribute? How did I and how do I continue to contribute to such a society where people are literally paying for water and food and air? That's crazy. Right now, the majority of Americans are reliant upon corrupt organizations for all of their well-beings. The day that all of this ends is the day that we stop participating. That's the day that all of this ends. All we have to do is just stop. That's it. And that's what I'm doing right now. I am learning how to govern myself completely so that I can stop completely and never have to adhere to anyone else's policies, anyone else's rules, and whatever. Because this is all fake. It's all made up. It's human beings. It's other humans controlling other humans. Using manipulation and deceit and lies, etc. Why would I want to be a part of that? I have no clue. But now is the time that I am done with it. What was I doing for 33 years? What have I been doing? These are the questions I had to ask myself. So for you guys out there, look at where do you work? Look at what you're driving. Look at the devices that you're using, what you're purchasing, and ask yourself, who does this feed? What organizations am I literally feeding with my money, with my currency? Look at your purchases throughout the entire week and ask yourself, am I feeding these quote unquote elites and giving them my energy? And most likely you are. And if you're disgusted about the Epstein files and all of this, I guarantee you those people, there's no question. This is where they get their immunity from the wealthy on the planet. So that would be Vanguard and BlackRock, etc. JP Morgan, Chase, State Street. This is how they have their immunity. Epstein is a pawn. He's a flunky for the quote unquote ruling elite. So these names that I have found in my research, that is how they're doing it. That's how they get away with the shit. That's how, come on. So if you trace it, you have to trace it all the way to the top. So you might think you're just going to McDonald's and just buying a sandwich, but who did you just ultimately give your energy to? BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, no question. You love the movies that Disney makes. Walt Disney himself was an ultimate racist and a highly sick individual who puts disgusting imagery into the films on many layers. Racist imagery, sexual imagery. These are supposed to be children's films. And Walt Disney was a 33rd degree Mason, which that organization has tons of racist history attached to it. Ask yourself these vital questions, please. For the rest of my time on this planet, I will be dealing with self-mastery, self-cultivation, self-knowledge, and self-reliance. And if we all did this, then literally no one would be able to control us. No one would be able to charge you for water. No one would be able to charge you for food, which is ultimately free, unquestionably free. Nature is so abundant. You can literally plant one onion and get 7 to 11 onions out of that one. You can plant one potato and get 13 potatoes. That's the power of nature. Yet we're going to the store and purchasing potatoes. That is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard of in my life. Literally. So this is where we are. Maybe in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, it'll be a different situation. If Americans, I'm in America, so specifically, if Americans actually get some balls and actually get gain the courage to become self-reliant and say, fuck corporations and quote unquote elites, maybe something will be different. If not, it'll probably get darker and darker, and there'll only be a few of us who are actually becoming self-reliant and actually moving towards truth. Because right now we're living in a lie, a complete lie. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Understand what is happening here. If you're disgusted by this information that has been revealed, do something. Stop adhering to policies. Stop giving them your energy. Stop watching their shows. Like, come on, what are we doing? No one else is to blame for any of the shit that we're hearing, any of the shit that's going on. If I have purchased a Disney subscription, I am supporting the death of children, the raping of children. Facts. If I am purchasing an Amazon subscription, if I am buying food from McDonald's, any of this, do the research and you will see where it leads. There's a reason why why BlackRock, Vanguard, and these entities are at the top. They're controlled. They are the big money people. So they call the shots for all lower individuals. So that's what's happening. It's our fault. We have to actually really understand that concept. It's our fault. We participate. We are participating in it, which makes it real. Facts. Peace. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It means everything to me. Keep learning, keep studying. This is what we do. Peace.